A fox gave birth to a human baby. She stared at the tiny creature, nudging it with her paw in utter disbelief. Why had she, a nine-tailed celestial fox, the only one of her kind, produced something with no claws and no fangs? Her lovers were always handsome demons, gorgeous, powerful, supernatural beings. There was no way she'd birthed a human child. She tossed the baby into the air to test him. He came straight back down. No floating, no flying. Panic flickered in her eyes. She conjured a cloud to catch him just in time. He couldn't even cloud surf? Confused but not cruel, she knew she couldn't just leave him, so she picked him up in her mouth and took to the skies. One moment he was slung across her back, the next, balanced on her head. The tiny human endured the chaos without a peep. Soon, hunger struck. She shifted into human form and went looking for food, but she still didn't understand this whole raising a child thing. She grabbed a roasted chicken and tore into it, just for herself. A long while later, an old woman pointed a shaking finger at her. "You're a heartless monster." Only then did the fox realize, the baby wasn't peacefully asleep. He was starving. She quickly chewed some meat into a paste and fed it to him. The old woman softened. This wasn't cruelty, this was cluelessness. "You have to feed him every hour," she explained patiently. "Milk, that's how they grow." The fox nodded like she understood completely. Then she pointed at a 16-year-old girl behind the old woman. "Her, milk, now." She reached for the girl's clothes. The girl shrieked. The old woman raised her cane and chased the fox away, shouting about shame and decency. But shame meant nothing to her. Before the baby, her life was simple: eat, sleep, and occasionally seduce a handsome demon. She'd birthed plenty of fox cubs before and never worried, they all had magic. They survived. Now she had one more thing to do: find milk. In her mind, all creatures were equal, so she approached any nursing female she found, human, animal, it didn't matter, and held up her baby. No one dared refuse a nine-tailed celestial fox. 2 or 3 years passed like this. She'd completely forgotten that, about a year before the baby came, she'd been intimate with a certain human deity. The baby grew from a toothless milk drinker into a tiny monster who stole food right out of her mouth. His front teeth still hadn't come in, but all 4 canine teeth had. Sharp little things. Since he could handle chicken legs now, she figured fish would be fine too. She shifted back to fox form, plopped him on her head, and dove into the ocean. The baby swallowed a mouthful of seawater immediately. While she feasted on a school of fish, the waves battered him, dragged him under, filled his lungs with salt water. When she finally noticed he wasn't on her head anymore, he was floating belly up on the surface. Asleep, she decided. He must be tired. She scooped him up in her mouth and headed to a feast, ignoring his stillness. A passing deity stopped her. "Your cub is dying," he said flatly. Ignoring her protests, he grabbed the baby and pounded on his back until water spurted from his tiny mouth. She snatched the baby back, cradling him protectively. She wanted to fight but knew she'd lose, so she tucked the baby under her arm and slunk away. The deity shook his head and sighed. "Poor little thing," he muttered. "Surviving her is a miracle in itself."